Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. So in this video I'm going to be bringing you some 5.4 PTR warrior stuff, just doing some BGs. This is a pretty fun BG we did one night, and I thought I'd share it with you, and just sort of talk about a couple things I'm thinking about in terms of what warriors are getting in 5.4, what Blizzard's trying to do, and you know, I'm wondering if it's the right choice. And the first thing that really comes to mind is Bladestorm. And in this BG, the Bladestorm buff had not gone through yet, but I did want to let you guys know that Bladestorm did get a buff. I believe it's now 180% weapon damage, which is cool, and it's like, oh yeah, so now is Bladestorm going to be usable? And my answer, for me at least, is no, unfortunately. Bladestorm is an awesome ability, something I really wish warriors could use again, but the problem is that if you think about it, if you decide to take Bladestorm, the only CC that warriors have are pummel interrupts, shout interrupts, and fear and charge. And that is absolutely unacceptably bad in terms of what sort of CC utility warriors bring to a team. And now I know that you can do something like spec into Stormbolt, but then you have no damage. Warriors without Avatar, even in 5.4, when we do, you know, seem to be a little bit stronger, warriors without Avatar are really just not that scary. I see people using Bloodbath, and some people use Bloodbath, you know, and still are effective warriors. But I mean, all in all, like if I'm ever fighting somebody and they have Bloodbath, I'm like, okay, we never have to worry about this warrior's damage. So I mean, it's just, and using Stormbolt is cool for the control if you're playing with a partner who's like super bursty. But if you're doing that, then you're probably gonna end up wanting to use Shockwave anyway, just to add, because you're gonna be the CC bot. So Bladestorm receiving a buff sounds like, it doesn't sound like it's a PvP buff at all. I mean, maybe for PvE, because I know a lot of people use Dragon Roar for PvE. Maybe they're trying to bring Bladestorm up in terms of like the AoE damage ability, but even then I feel like people will probably still end up using Dragon's Roar just because it's just one quick ability. You don't have to not use any abilities for the entire duration of the Bladestorm. Whereas with Dragon's Roar, you just throw it in your rotation, does a bunch of damage, and then you're good to go. So I mean, it's cool that Blizzard are buffing Bladestorm, and I mean, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like I like seeing warrior buffs just on paper, but honestly, it's not a buff if you never use the ability, and I don't think I'm going to. I mean, maybe maybe it'd be fun to make a couple of videos where you get big Bladestorm numbers, but that's really all that I can imagine it bean good for in an arena setting. Like, warriors just don't bring anything to the table, and maybe if Warbringer worked the way it used to, where it was stun, maybe that would be cool. I mean, I imagine that you can Warbringer root somebody and Bladestorm them, but the thing about Warbringer is that if you spec into the root, and sorry if you guys don't know what Warbringer does now, they changed it so it roots for 4 seconds and slows them afterwards, but in exchange for the root, you lose the charge, you lose the stun component of the charge, and I think that's pretty much rules it out for me, because focus charging, and charging in general, charging to stun, to stop casts and things like that. I mean, it's way too important to the warrior's utility, because we have so little utility as it is. Shockwave is like the one thing that's our probably most reliable form of CC, and even then, it's you have to wait 40 seconds to use it if you only use it on one person. So I think that's one of the things that really makes warriors weak in the current arena meta, or just the current arena setting right now, is that we just don't really bring much to the table. Our damage isn't significant enough to warrant using a warrior over like a Death Knight or a Feral Druid. And our CC also sucks compared to those classes, even a Monk. I mean, it's our CC is just not up to par. We have a charge on a 12-second cooldown if you decide to use Juggernaut, which is cool. You have a fear that's on a 1.5-minute cooldown, which is, I mean, I guess you can. There's plenty of people who can get out of fears in terms of healers, but the fear is cool. But then if you don't, I mean, then you have Shockwave, which is a 40-second cooldown if you only use it on one person. So outside of that, I mean, you have Pummel and your Interrupt Shout, which Interrupt Shout is on a 40-second cooldown as well. So you really just don't bring much to the table in terms of, you know, helping the team with all the CC that needs to occur in order to score a kill in Mr. Pandaria. And you really don't have the insane burst damage either, or the insane, I mean, like warrior burst, I mean, it's pretty cool, you can put up some big numbers, but it's just not serious enough burst to warrant the really serious lack of CC that we have as well. So all in all, what I'm thinking about the Bladestorm buff is it's cool to see bigger numbers on Bladestorm. It might make it look a little bit more attractive to some people. But in terms of using it in a serious PvP setting, I don't think it surpasses Shockwave, because it can't. I mean, it's just, we have no CC if we don't take a stun. And if we want to take Bladestorm and Stormbolt, then we're going to lose out on a huge component of our damage. And even with a Bladestorm buff, I don't know, you still need Shockwave. That's really what it comes down to. Maybe if they buffed Bladestorm a little bit more and replaced it with Avatar, maybe that'd be cool. Like, that is an option. You could do Stormbolt Bladestorm, but reflect that deep sea of age. See you, nerd. But I don't know. It just seems like really rough to me to ever say goodbye to Shockwave, since it's such a solid CC and so reliable and so cool. I mean, like, if we could take Shockwave and Bladestorm, I might take Bladestorm over Avatar, but I don't know if Stormbolt is what I want to do. But that would make a little bit more like Kata Warriors, I guess, if Stormbolt had a longer duration on it. If it was a 5-second stun, then maybe that'd be cool. But the AoE stun of Shockwave is so cool. I mean, I you know, can't even like count the number of times that I've focus charged and shockwaved a healer and the DPS that, you know, the DPS is running towards. Like, he's scared, so he runs to his healer, or the entire team groups up for a Spirit Link and you shockwave the entire team in the Spirit Link. Like, just Shockwave just has like way too good of utility to pass up for a 3-second stun, and Stormbolt really just doesn't measure up. But if Stormbolt did have a 5-second duration, maybe we would discuss Bladestorm. But I don't know if 180 weapon damage is enough for Bladestorm to warrant the change. But like I said, I'm not against hopping on the PTR and testing it out and seeing what I think. But this BG was just a BG that I had, so I wanted to, you know, take this opportunity to chat it up with you guys about one of the Bladestorm change and the potential or lack thereof implications of the buff. But I still am excited about Warriors in 5.4. A lot of the changes are going to be really, really neat. And I've always said this, and it's the thing that I think is just the coolest thing, is that hamstring off the GCD really frees up a lot of global cooldowns to be dealing damage. So, and that's, we're not getting a huge amount of like percentage damage on our abilities buffs like the Bladestorm thing, but we are getting a couple extra global cooldowns. Well, I mean, maybe a lot over just a minute span if you have to hamstring somebody. So say that they don't have any sort of movement reduction or movement impairment reduction like Death Knights do or things like that. We still have to hamstring them like every 8 seconds or every 7 seconds. And, you know, there's you know, 5 or 6 8-second intervals, 7-second intervals within a minute. So that's 5 or 6 extra globals per minute that we can use dealing damage. So that might increase our damage pretty significantly over you know, our DPS, if you will, or DPM, damage per minute. Who knows? We'll just have to see. But it does feel really cool playing a warrior, and I am excited. One of the things that's going on right now is that we're getting to that sort of near the end of the season lull where there's really not much to do. Like, you log in, see if your arena buddies are on. If nobody's on to do arena, log off. I mean, I am a big fan of the storytelling that World of Warcraft has allowed me to do. I do enjoy the game, but something I don't really enjoy is just logging in and not doing anything. That's just, feels to me like a waste of time. And even though it's so much fun to hang out with you guys on the stream, I would personally rather sort of do gameplay that I enjoy. And this sort of baseline gameplay for World of Warcraft right now just isn't very compelling. But I think that's something that could change. I think it's something that will change once the new arena season comes out. But right now, it's just, that's kind of just like a chill point in the season. But having the PTR available, and I wish I would have gotten the arena tournament realm. That would have been a lot of fun. But I think I sort of missed the deadline for that. But yeah, chilling on the PTR is pretty fun. Hanging out with you guys is always a blast on the stream, even if we are just doing VGs. But I really am looking forward to playing my warrior quite a bit more, because as you guys have noticed, like, I leveled the Death Knight and I've been playing the Death Knight a lot, just learning the class, having fun with the class. But I do see a lot of comments, you know, asking for more warrior PvP and more warrior videos, and I'm definitely interested in doing that. It's just that, you know, if I'm not really having fun logging in and playing BGs, then I'm probably not going to end up doing it as much as I otherwise would. But doesn't mean that done playing my warrior forever or anything like that. It's just, you know, if other stuff is more fun, I'll probably do that instead. Because honestly, you spend time like this, you know, leveling alts or playing other games, you know, a little bit more than you would have otherwise played them. Like, you know, I'm playing a good amount of League, playing like fun games like Terraria, and playing Minecraft with Jenny. We recently got Cube World. I haven't posted any Cube World stuff up on YouTube yet, but we'll have to do that because that game is pretty neat. It's like, you know, like a really sort of basic game. I think it's an alpha, but I don't know. It's fun. It's kind of like it's set in a world that would remind you of Minecraft just because it's a voxel game engine. But it's it's about leveling up your character, and just all you basically do is just run around the map looking for huge boss monsters to slay, and leveling up your character that way, getting better equipment. It's neat. I probably will end up posting some of that for you, but it's not surprising that near the end of the season where things sort of slow down, there's not as much going on, not as much new content to explore. The whole WoW excitement sort of slows down a bit, but that's okay because I'm sure Blizzard will come out with plenty of new stuff as soon as the new arena season starts. It's going to be a lot of arena, and I'll probably be doing some arena near the end of the season as well. But I feel like maybe the arena seasons don't need to be quite so long. I don't know. Maybe sort of ramp up the pace a little bit of the arena seasons, even if it means that our new armor doesn't look quite as cool. You can just build off of the model before. I'm pretty sure that's what they did in the past, at least in Wrath of the Lich King, right? Didn't they just sort of build off of the armor of last season? Maybe they could crank out seasons a little bit faster. That way, it's not hard to appease the PvP community. Just give us slightly different looking armor, give it slightly better stats, and go ham. But I guess that would mean that PvE would have to have their item levels scaled up or whatever to match the PvP stuff. But who knows? I'm not the game developer. I just think that it might keep WoW a little bit more fresh if they kept the PvP content rolling a little bit faster. But oh well, not a big deal. But I guess the moral of the story is what I'm thinking is that if you do end up taking a little bit less time to play WoW, not really take a break from WoW, because I still want to play WoW. I still really enjoy the game, and I play it pretty much daily. It's just that if you do spend a little bit less time playing WoW, it gives you time to sort of rest, regenerate, and have that renewed interest in the game. Like once new stuff does come out, I mean everybody wants to play it, and that's awesome. And I think that's a fine cycle. It's perfectly normal. It's like a natural biorhythm. There's a sort of increase in excitement and attention towards the game, and then a sort of gentle decline as things settle down, and then you continue to play it again. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced that, and definitely don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to tell you that I don't enjoy the game anymore. It's just that what I don't enjoy in any game, no matter what, I don't really enjoy doing. I enjoy same thing in real life. Like I don't like just sitting around not doing anything, whether it's in a video game or in real life. I always want to be doing something, doing something positive, doing something creative, and that's sort of one of the ways that I structure my day. And I definitely want to have my gaming be a similar way. I always want to be doing something productive, whether it's leveling a character or doing arena just for fun. But it's all good, and I know that WoW is gonna be able to continue to do cool stuff. Just right now, I'm sure you guys can sympathize. It's just a little bit of a chill time, but it is fun to sort of have this discussion be phrased in the footage of what's to come, the 5.4 PTR. So what I might have to do is I'm gonna have to get a Death Knight set up as well and share with you guys some of the Death Knight changes, because I'm actually really unfamiliar with them, just because I'm so excited about the warrior ones, because at my core I am a warrior at heart. So definitely want to have a lot of fun on my warrior, and I'm really looking forward to playing it more in patch 5.4. But that's the end of the BG. Gotta wrap this video up. I'm gonna get this rendered and posted and start up my live stream. So if you guys want to, come hang out. It's twitch.tv/Bajheera. Hope to see you guys there. Peace!